This is the world of offshore operations. It takes the skill, knowledge, and communication of many people to make it successful. Each person on an offshore rig has a specific job to perform that makes them unique. But no matter what level of skill or knowledge each has as an individual, all of these people have one thing in common, and that's safety. Halliburton wants a safer offshore world, and there are many safety aspects to consider when working offshore. Not only is safety important while on the rig, but just getting to and from the worksite presents a whole new set of circumstances where your safety is concerned. Special transportation is required to move workers to and from the job. Helicopters and boats are utilized daily for this purpose, and each have special safety characteristics that relate directly to a safe working environment. This program is designed to familiarize you with safety procedures and precautions that must be taken when working offshore. There are 3 key safety areas to consider: helicopters, boats, and the offshore rig itself. Let's look at helicopter safety and procedures first. Upon arrival at the helicopter terminal, the first thing you need to do is weigh any carry-on gear. It's important that your body weight and that of any carry-on items be accurate due to load limits of the helicopter. After you have the correct weight, sign in. If you have any questions about your flight, ask the dispatcher at the time of check-in. He can point out any orientation material or programs that you need to acquaint yourself with prior to departure. Some terminals have helicopter safety video programs available that you can watch while waiting for your flight to depart. If it's your first flight on a helicopter, be sure to tell the pilot. He can then conduct a safety orientation meeting and point out any safety features and procedures that you need to know. Areas covered may include emergency situations, stowing baggage, loading and unloading, in-flight procedures, and any other items the pilot deems necessary to ensure a safe flight. Remember, the pilot is in total command at all times, so listen to and follow his instructions carefully. Here are some general aircraft procedures and rules that you need to remember. Walk to and from the aircraft. Never run. Inform the pilot or dispatcher if it's your first time on an aircraft, so the appropriate briefing can be performed. Do not approach any aircraft without first having visual contact with the pilot. Stow your gear in baggage compartments and other approved areas. Personal flotation devices, or PFDs, must be worn. Load or unload only upon signal from the pilot. Hearing protection is required. Seat belts shall be fastened during the entire flight. Advise the pilot of any hazardous material to be transported and have the items clearly marked and identified to conform with the appropriate transportation regulations. When approaching or departing the aircraft, maintain a secure grip on lightweight articles to prevent them from being drawn into the rotor blades or engine inlets. Always hold long objects in a horizontal position when near helicopters to avoid striking the helicopter rotor blade. Smoking is not permitted on or near the aircraft. Additionally, always approach and leave the aircraft in a crouched manner. Some helicopters have a very low profile, which creates a lower clearance between the main rotor blade and the ground in front of the aircraft. Always avoid the shaded area you see here. This is a blind spot for the pilot, and he will be unable to see you. Never duck under the tail section of a helicopter to get to the other side. Always go around the front of the aircraft. Remember, the tail rotor of a helicopter is deadly. Be aware of it and stay clear of it. These are basic rules you should observe if you are being transported to the job site by helicopter. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask the pilot or the dispatcher, because safety is their goal too. Now let's look at boat safety and procedures. If your mode of transportation to the offshore facility is by crew boat, some of the safety procedures are much the same as compared to being transported by helicopter. Upon arrival at the boat terminal, the first thing you need to do is sign in. If you have any questions about the trip, check with the dispatcher. He will have any current information available concerning your departure. When the boat arrives, have your gear in order and ready to load. At this point, you will need to have your life jacket on. You should wear a Coast Guard approved PFD snugly fitted and fastened while on deck and during personnel transfer by basket or swing rope. Follow the boat captain's instructions. He may require the wearing of life jackets at other times. Once aboard the boat, you will need to sign the manifest. It is required that you remain in the cabin while the boat is underway, so just relax and enjoy the ride. Remember, the captain of the boat is in command at all times while you're aboard the vessel. Be sure to follow any instructions that the captain gives you. When you reach your destination, stay in the cabin until the captain or the deckhand signals you to exit. Depending on the rig, you will use one of two methods to transfer from the boat to the rig, either the personnel basket or the swing rope. Personnel baskets are the most common method used to make transfers between platform and vessel. The procedure is fairly easy. While the personnel basket is descending, stay clear of the deck. The deckhands or the boat skipper will direct you when to come on deck and where to wait once the personnel basket is on the boat. Then, when it's safe to do so, they will direct you to come forward. Place luggage or other items into the center of the personnel basket. On being instructed by the deckhand or boat skipper to board the personnel basket, place one foot onto the rim and grasp the rope netting on both sides of you with each hand. Ease your weight over the foot of the rim and, as the basket leaves the deck, bring your other foot up onto the rim. As you near the deck of the platform, bend your knees slightly to absorb any shock on contact. Hang one foot off the rim to allow you to immediately step back once you are down. Step free of the basket as soon as it makes contact to avoid injury from a swinging cable or headache ball. Conditions may require the crane operator to set the personnel basket down on an uneven surface, such as the pipe rack. If this is the case, quickly survey the area in order to maintain secure footing upon contact. Any gear placed inside the personnel basket should be unloaded as quickly and safely as possible. Going from platform to the boat is performed in much the same manner, except that greater care must be taken when approaching the boat because of its unpredictable movement. Should you let go of the personnel basket too soon, serious injury may occur, so be alert to ever-changing conditions. The technique of transferring from the boat to the platform by using the swing rope is relatively easy. The key to making a safe swing rope transfer can be summed up in one word: timing. However, if the transfer is not made properly, serious injury can occur. As with transfers made with the personnel basket, the boat skipper or deckhands will direct you as to when and how you should make the transfer. Before making the transfer, make sure the rope is not entangled. Grasp the rope as high as is comfortably possible in order to carry you safely to the platform. Time your swing to begin when the boat is riding up, just as it begins to fall. It's your decision when to make the swing. Don't let anyone rush you. When transferring from the platform to the boat, the technique is much the same. Watch the boat's movement. Then time your takeoff when the boat is at its lowest point. Your landing should coincide with the boat's arrival at its highest point. Once aboard, be alert to assist others with their transfer. Additionally, any small items should be handed across if it's determined that it is safe to do so. Remember, to make a successful swing rope transfer, timing is the key. Now let's look at safety procedures that should be followed while you are on the offshore rig. Once you are safely aboard the offshore rig, a safety orientation meeting will be held to familiarize you with offshore safety procedures, regulations, and alarm signals. Because it is one of the best methods known to prepare for emergencies, all personnel are required to participate in regularly scheduled drills. These drills will be conducted as if an actual emergency existed. Now let's listen in on an emergency escape capsule demonstration.
In the case of an abandonment, you would get inside the boat, fill up in the middle at the bottom first. Strap yourselves in, check your life jacket. The boat will be dropped by this white cord. All we have to do is pull on it. It's going to drop 2 feet per second. It'll lower us to the water. There's a lever inside the bottom of the boat. It's marked red that says this hook releases bow and stern hook. Once that is pulled, you'll release the hooks on the bow and the stern. The boat is free to go. Now, the boat is equipped with life provisions such as water, food. It has ample amount of flares, parachute, marker dye to gather attention of an oncoming vessel or an airplane. It does have a radio. It's powered by a diesel engine. It can carry, as I said, 58 men closely to the rig within maybe 6 hours of running time on 100 miles, whichever comes first. The main point is to escape the site, stay near to it until we are marked by help, Coast Guard or an oncoming vessel. There are other things in the boat in case we're in a fire and we have to go through it. There's a heat-resistant paint on the boat. It'll allow us to go through the maximum amount of fire of a blowout, and the temperature inside will be 75 degrees. We do have water, a system, sprinkler system on top of the boat to keep us cool. We have breathing air inside, which is just compressed air over the outside. It better help us to breathe in case we have a leakage in the boat and smoke is in there. There's other items that we have, compass and sea painters, anchors, and whatnot, but the main thing to know, gentlemen, is to get down in the boat, sit in the middle, strap yourselves in, and listen to the driver. He is a certified lifeboatman. He's the helmsman of the boat. He gives the orders. When he tells us to lower, we lower. When he tells us to release the hook, we release the hook.
As you can see by this demonstration, it is vital that you know what to do and where to go in an offshore emergency situation. On nearly any offshore facility, a station bill will be posted at various locations. These placards are used to give everyone on board instructions as to where they are to assemble and what their duties are in the event of an emergency. Because of the station bill's easy accessibility and relatively high visibility, each person on the facility is responsible for learning emergency procedures. Information contained in the station bill usually will cover such areas as the signals for fires or for abandoning the facility, designated emergency stations for everyone on board, lifeboat or capsule assignments, and other pertinent information. Be sure that you have read and fully understand the station bill. One of the most important things you should do once on board is to familiarize yourself with the facility. Locate flotation device storage areas. Be aware of any obstacles unique to the particular rig you are assigned. You should know of at least 2 escape routes from any place on the rig where you are actually working. In practice, the entire rig is regarded as a hazardous area. For that reason, signs are posted for your safety at many locations on the facility to protect and warn you of potential hazards. Be alert for these signs and obey them at all times. Here are some general safety rules that should be observed at all times. Good housekeeping is essential. Unsafe working conditions must be reported to your immediate supervisor at once. Horseplay and practical joking, including any type of hazing or initiation, are safety violations and will not be tolerated. Safety boots, hard hats, and eye protection shall be worn at all times outside the quarters area. A properly fastened work vest or life jacket is required whenever working or being transferred over water. Traveling up and down ladders or steps requires the use of handrails. Proper lifting techniques should be followed at all times. If a load is too heavy for you to handle alone, ask for assistance. Employees shall not walk or stand under suspended loads. Safety goggles or shields must be worn on any job where foreign or flying objects might enter the eyes. Hearing protection equipment must be worn when working in areas designated as high noise areas. Report accidents that cause injury to personnel or damage to equipment to your supervisor or rig superintendent as soon as possible. Additionally, be sure to report any observed safety hazards as well as damaged or defective equipment. And finally, it is imperative that all personnel read and understand the station bill. If you have any questions about the station bill, direct them to your supervisor or the rig superintendent. For your own personal safety and that of your fellow workers, offshore safety rules and procedures need to be understood, beginning with orientation films, lectures, or literature at the dock or heliport, to following proper procedures while being transported, and ending with a full understanding of safe working and emergency situations.